Hello, it's Heather and Phil, and today is Saturday, June the 27th, 2020. We're in downtown Chattanooga, and you can see we've got our masks on. The COVID-19 is making a big comeback in America right now, record cases in a lot of states that are near us. But I wanted to show you guys, we're about to do some sunset photography later on tonight, but I wanted to show you right here, this section of ML King Jr. Boulevard is closed, and they've just added some really nice Black Lives Matter painting all the way across the road here. Very cool. I think other cities it's kind of yellow, but it's rainbow colors here. And yep, right in front of the Betsy Smith Hall, and there's JJ's Bohemia right across the street, which is one of my favorite music venues around town. There's the Betsy Smith Cultural Center right there, and this is pretty cool right here.
Oh, what's this Tennessee music pathway thing?
But we're about to go right up there, one block up and across the street, and eat at that building with the red front, which is the Honest Pint. The Honest Pint. All right, we're inside the Honest Pint. Look at this old place with balconies, and the ceiling is made of doors, and there's these beautiful lights in here. There's a stage over there. A lot of times live bands play here. They have Chattanooga Brewing's Chestnut Street Brown Ale here, and that is our favorite beer in the world. So we're happy about it. There's Heather's awesome looking hamburger, and I got a French dip, which looks really fantastic. Okay, so Heather and I are here. We're on the top level of the Chattanooga Choo Choo, world famous Chattanooga Choo Choo parking garage. And there's supposed to be really good sunsets right now because of
The Saharan desert dust that's moving over the south.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's completely here yet, but the sky definitely has an unusual look to it. And we looked at the photographer's ephemeris, trying to find a good place to make a sunset photo for about an hour. I was not home, and Heather was at home. And anyway, the only place that we ended up settling on was right here on the roof of the Chattanooga Choo Choo parking garage. And it's really beautiful up here, but what we couldn't tell from the satellite photos is, even though we're, what, 5 floors up?
Yeah.
Over there in the direction of the sunset, there's a building that looks like it might be 6 stories tall, so it's kind of in the way. But we're going to make some photos from up here. We're going to make the best of it and see what we can get out of this location, because we've kind of settled on it, and the sun is setting, so we've got to get started. So we'll work on it and keep you posted. Okay, so we're here on the roof of the Chattanooga Choo Choo parking garage, and we have discovered that Heather has made a rookie mistake. Her photography looks like a veteran's work, but she is still pretty much brand new at this, and her memory card is still in the memory card slot on her computer. Or actually, I should say my memory card, because it's my Z50. But anyway, so it doesn't look like my sweet Heather will be shooting tonight, and that makes me very sad. But what I've got set up here is I've got my 70 to 210 vintage push-pull lens on, and in the background, that's the world famous Lookout Mountain where Rock City and Ruby Falls and Point Park and all those things are. And I thought I would make a panorama of it real quick. And really this sunset's turning out to be kind of crap, although it was supposed to be really great tonight. But you know, you never know what you're gonna get. So I'm gonna make this panorama and we'll see how it goes. All right, we'll speed this panorama shoot up, but you'll get to watch it ever so quickly. Okay, well I made a 6-shot panorama, and I'll see if it stitches, of Lookout Mountain. And it's just really, we got the haze that the dust storm promised, but not the beautiful sunset that the dust storm promised. So kind of disappointing, really. The following night, the sunset was beautiful, but we were not making photos that night at sunset. That's just how it goes sometimes. Here's the panorama shot of Lookout Mountain, and this shot's not great, but I did manage to make some pretty cool photos later on in the evening, so stick with us and you'll get to see those later on in this video. Got another idea for a photo, even though it's not what we planned to do at all. I'm looking down at Market Street, still using the 70-210. I think I'm at 70 millimeters, and I'm going to see if I can set up for a light trail from up here. So it's a little bit too bright to be making this light trail shot still, but there's no sunset going on, so I thought I might as well do something. And so I put a 3-stop neutral density on while I'm trying to make this shot. And now I can do a 30-second exposure, which gives me much more opportunity to catch lights moving. And it looks like I've got a green light. Well, yeah, some of the cars in the distance have a green light, and there's another traffic light right below us, and they're pulling up to a red light. But I'm getting probably better movement in this shot than I have in any of the ones prior to this, just because I'm doing 30 seconds. There's fireworks going on over there. I'm doing 30 seconds instead of some much shorter amount. It was kind of fun using a neutral density filter and making a 30-second light trail photo kind of when it's brighter outside than you would normally shoot a 30-second light trail photo. I mean, it was dark enough for cars to have their lights on, obviously, but it wasn't blue hour or pitch black, so this is different. Okay, so I've got another rooftop light trails composition set up here. Still using the 70-210. Looks like I'm at 120 or so millimeters. It's hard to say until I actually make the shot, but I'm looking straight down Market Street. It goes by directly in front of the Choo Choo here, and then it curves that way, and my shot has the straightaway, and I've got the Warehouse Row sign in the, actually I think I need to raise it up just a little bit and have just a tiny bit more sky in the shot. But you know, it's unfortunate that the sunset didn't work out for us, but I don't know if I ever would have thought of a composition like this unless we came up here. So here we go again. It's kind of neat because, you know, Chattanooga doesn't have skyscrapers, but we've got buildings in the 10 to 15 or 16 story tall variety, and more of them in the 5 to 7 story tall variety, and I'm getting some of those down through there as I make this light trail shot. Well, things are kind of steadily improving in this photo shoot. Still no beautiful sunset like we were hoping for, but like I said in the previous clip, I don't know if I ever would have thought of coming up on top of this parking garage to make light trails, except for we went up there to try to find a great sunset. And this is really cool, looking down Market Street with Warehouse Row in the distance and other signs. That's a TVA building on the left. It was a cool shoot. I got another composition in mind there. There's this brand of hotel called the Moxie, and there's a Moxie hotel just about a block and a quarter away with their Moxie sign, and in the background of it is the lighted Chattanooga Dome building, which I think I've made photos of before on the channel. So I'm going to try to set up a composition where it looks like the Dome building is the Moxie, like right here. Okay, so this is an example of compression. I'm about a block and a half from the Moxie sign there in the foreground, and the Dome building, which you can see it's the lit building that has a dome on the roof, that's about 5 more blocks back. And it almost looks like they're kind of right together because of the lens compression at 210 millimeters. Okay, I'm going to do a shot now that's kind of like a combination of the first two. It's got us looking down Market Street over on the left-hand side of the frame and looking at the Moxie sign on the right. And this time I don't have the Moxie and the Dome building lined up just straight, but you can see the Warehouse Row sign. I've put the 3-stop neutral density back on so I can get some better light trails. And it looks like I've got some traffic moving right now, so I went ahead and pressed the shutter. There's a little bit more of the foreground in this shot. Let's see. I think I'm at 70 millimeters, which is the minimum focal distance on this 70 to 210 vintage lens from the film days. It's a push-pull zoom. I've featured it a million times on the channel, but I may have to take a few of these to get it just right. I'm gonna wait till this light at King Street turns green, then I'm gonna hit the shutter and let it roll for 30 seconds. It was a little bit overexposed in the last shot, so I've bumped it up to f7.1. There we go, green light. 30-second exposure. Well, the sunsets let us down, but blue hour is going to be blue, you know. So unless you have just 100% cloud cover, the fireworks are still going off over there. Unless you have 100% cloud cover, the blue hour is going to be blue for you. So, and my composition doesn't have a lot of sky in it, and I actually don't like this bare part of the exposure over here. There's just blandness on the bottom right of the exposure, so I may crop the bottom of it off and make it like 16 by 9 or 16 by 7, something like that on that one. Let me see if I can find another. There's not a whole lot to choose from up here. As you can see, I did end up cropping this one 16 by 9, and this is probably my second favorite photograph of the evening. And at 16 by 9, it was the obvious choice to use as the thumbnail for this video. But you can see the Moxie sign is not lined up with the dome building in this composition, but we also have the Warehouse Row sign on the other side and Market Street with lots of traffic in 30 seconds. And this one's back with the 3-stop neutral density. So there's a wall around the parking garage, and I've been spreading the legs out wide on my front 2 legs on the tripod and putting them short, and putting the rear leg maximum length and as straight down as it'll go to get it balanced on the wall. Kind of a unusual tripod setup, but that's what works for this location. Okay, I'm working on another shot now that kind of has the Moxie sign and the Warehouse Row, and I can't remember what the name of that bank building is that's directly behind them if you're looking at them from this angle. Not SunTrust to the right, but the one to the left.
Millennium Bank.
Yeah, but I'm going to make a shot of that. It's not the greatest composition in the world, but it's kind of cool. And with no filter on, now I'm up to f13 ISO 125 seconds, so it's getting darker. The roof of the parking garage is pretty large, so I was able to move around and really change my compositions a lot while staying on the roof. Earlier I had a shot where the Moxie had the dome building directly behind it, and this is the same Moxie sign, but just moving around I was able to put Warehouse Row sign directly behind it. And this is a fun time to mention that every single photo in this video was made with my $49 70 to 210 push-pull. I'm making a panorama now using the timer with a 3-second timer in between each shot. I don't even remember how many shots I've told it to make, but when this shot gets done, I have to scroll. There we go. I'm going to try to get Market Street in the shot, and what is that?
That's Wanderlinger right there.
No, the big building behind it.
Oh, it's some sort of factory. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, whatever that factory is back there, I'm going to try to get that in the shot to the right, and Market Street to the left, and the Moxie and the dome building in the middle. Okay, so here it is. This is my favorite photograph of the night. This is a 9-shot, 30 seconds for each shot panorama, and it has everything including Market Street with the lights and Warehouse Row and the TVA building. And now as we scroll back, you'll see the Moxie and the dome building and that steeple way back in the background. And this big building here on the right is a mill of some sort. Really cool, and it's much less impressive looking at it as all that information crushed down into this single shot on a TV screen. But this picture is like 19,500 pixels wide by 4,400 tall, so it's a really serious panorama shot. Kind of a disappointing night. We hope, or I hope, that I was able to kind of make the best of it with some photography that I wasn't planning on doing tonight. And you know, Heather forgot her memory card, and if you watch videos over the last month or so, you'll see that at least twice and maybe 3 times I forgot my microphones. It happens. You know, we almost need to make a checklist of got to take this, got to take this, got to take this. You know, it's harder for me to get ready to go because each time we go, I take something different. I take a whole different system of cameras. I might take the Z50, I might take the Z6, I might take my Fujifilm X-T3, and I kind of get everything packed, and then, so I'll have everything, and I've gotten pretty good at making sure I've got at least 2 batteries for each of the cameras, and I'll flip it on and make sure there's a memory card in there and I don't have an error. Heather, she's got 1 camera and 2 lenses, so she just picks up her bag and she's ready. Well, now she'll know to look at the camera first. She probably looked at the camera and checked that the battery was fully charged. But anyway, hopefully some of the pictures were good, and we really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up, hit the bell. Can you make the sound? That's pretty good. I thought I was the only person weird enough to do that. That's why she likes me, because I'm weird. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Is this thing on?
I don't know.